were in February at the show in State College, and Mark came to me and said, Brett said, hey, look, we want to know more about Boral. You know, he goes, we're using it, but what, you know, and I said, you can paint it black and it got less expansion, contraction. Swati's like, we need more than just that. So he said, hey, when can you do this? I want to bring these guys in. So we take the time today. We appreciate you taking the time. Jim Barone's here from U.S. Lumber in Craig. I've known Craig Calvecchi from his Anderson days. They're the only distributor in the market. Now, last week, I was in Connecticut for a sales meeting, and this was one of the big topics, TruExterior Boral. One thing I can tell you is they make this product, it's like the Wizard of Oz behind a curtain. I swear, they won't even tell us. There's a patent on it. The plant's in Charlotte. About an hour from Charlotte. They're going to build another plant because right now the biggest problem we have with this is allocation. They can't make enough of it. Just like we had problems with Rosetta Stone. That's off allocation. So I called Joe up and said, Joe, I need your help. He goes, okay, what do you need? So I wanted to bring Joe Susko in, who's, like I said, he's been doing this for 30 years. I believe this is his first presentation on TruExterior today with Boral. And we want to keep it informal if you guys have questions. But what I do know about this product, a lot of people like using it because you do have less expansion. You can paint it. It's ground contact. I know it's fly ash. It's a byproduct from coal, and it has combined with polymers. And I don't know what the polymers are because they won't reveal that. So it comes in a soffit and siding and a different board. So Mark said, hey, bring Joe in. You don't know enough about this product to do a presentation. So I said, I don't have a problem with that. So Tom and I have been working together, going around wherever we can, talking about it. So I'm going to turn it over to Joe Susko and let him do his thing.
So you could see the selection guide, product offering book, all the different parts and components. But really the key feature, as some of you already know, some of you have worked with it, some of you haven't, but the key feature about TruEx is that it works just like wood. And like PVC has the same, density as white pine. So with PVC boards, you can cut it, you can drill it, nail it, screw it, route it. This is the same, it's the same features. You're going to work with it just like wood, but it doesn't have that thermal expansion. So it's not going to have the expansion and contraction. Again, ground contact. It's you can obviously glue it, and it's not going to be affected by moisture or temperature. So as you're working with it with wood, you're going to be nailing it with a siding nail, 2.5-inch ring shank nail with a gun, or you can use a 15 gauge stainless steel trim nailer. You can glue the miters, you can glue the back of it. Basically what they're asking you to do on the flat siding is definitely use a drainable house wrap. You guys using a tie back or you using a drainable on that board and batten?
Zip system typically.
Okay. Obviously, Kevin said you can paint it any color, unlike PVC where you got to have that light reflective value. So, and as you know, everybody likes these dark colors now. So this is really the sweet spot. It's not wood and it's not a cement board, so it has no capillary action. And it's not a PVC or thermoplastic where you're getting any kind of movement.
So it's okay to use with a zip system?
It's okay to use with a zip system, yeah. As you know, with the other thing, the trend in the market too, of course, these guys are selling it, they could tell you better than I can, but this modern look. So you've got the nickel gap, horizontal, vertical, or you have the traditional. If you're trying to match something, you're trying to do an old restoration project, this is what you're going to be using. You get in a project where you can't use vinyl, has to be a different kind, a solid material. This is your go-to. So I'll open it up to any questions. If you have worked with it, you haven't worked with it. Any questions about
Is it green? Is it like green certified or?
that? I don't know.
Yeah, Class A fire rating. I can't. I don't know. I can get an answer for you.
It's 70% recyclable, so it
Right.
qualifies under the green program.
What I can tell you guys are, I saw this, and Craig has a sample of it. They send this board. They send the boards out to this company. Where they at?
It's Pace, it's in Ohio. And it's actually owned by U.S. Lumber.
U.S. Lumber owns it, and they send it out and they finish it. And it's an unbelievable product.
You can do a stain on it.
They put a stain, and it looks like real cedar. It's high end. I mean, obviously it's custom. We're talking about it's high end.
Right, and as you know, like you have the choices. You got the wood grain, or you got the smooth. This does have a primer on it. The primer has 150-day time span where you have to put another paint, acrylic paint over top. But I did have a project out in New Jersey, and the homeowner liked this finish. He said, how can I keep this same finish to it? He wanted to put a clear coat. Now, what you will notice is because of the fly ash substrate, or the cake batter, some of this will vary in color. It's all the same material. It's got all the same polymers in it, but because of the different fly ash, you'll see a little variation in color where you're putting it up.
Who would want that? Would people want that? Would they want it painted? Wouldn't they?
They would want to paint it, but this was that industrial-looking house, very square, very contemporary, and he liked this look to it and asked if he could clear coat it, So, because of course, again, you had to put a finish over top.
What kind of clear coat did you use?
That we couldn't, that was over our pay grade, and, a clear coat could flake if it wasn't the right thing. A paint's got more of a bonding agent to it. So, any exterior paint, I'm sure you guys using, what are you using,
No, there
Sherwin-Williams?
is a
Or?
certain paint. It's Sherwin-Williams. It is Sherwin-Williams. It is Sherwin-Williams. Yep.
What's the availability on like the? Because I know I guess this would be more for like the U.S. Lumber. I know, but like the trims that are pre-made up, like your corners, your your freeze boards and everything. Like we've been making our own outside corners, inside corners. I mean, run through table saw, putting them together, joining them. But what is the availability of the pre-made corners, freeze boards, skirt boards?
Well,
and all that?
the skirt board we have, we stock that. So you're talking about from the bottom, like the
The skirt board. I mean, then they have the outside corners, and
Yeah.
the pre-pocketed and everything, and the window trim that has the double pocket except your nail flange.
Right. Yep, we stock all those trims. Now the pre-made corners come from a company called Duration, which I'll have to see what we're stocking. I don't know if we stock some Duration there. I'll have to check on the pre-made corners. But like the trim board, they have the slot for the nail fin, and then also for your siding. We stock all that stuff.
Okay.
In Altoona. Now, there for a while, when this COVID stuff was going on, we had a hard time getting this material. But now, since a lot of that allocation's gone, we should have a pretty decent inventory.
Are you using 5/4 for your outside corners? Yeah.
But we
Yeah,
stock.
usually five quarter, and usually do the 5/4 by 6 for the outside corners and the 5/4 by.
Are you mitering those, or just square button?
No, miter.
Yeah, very nice.
Miter, so say miter PL3, tack them with rods, and then go through with trim head screws and just stagger them the whole way down through. I mean, we haven't had one come apart yet.
Yeah.
Nice.
Shannon said it's an inch and a half thick, right? We've got to put 2 by 4.
Yeah.
I pocket screwed everything together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I've had some guys, they talk about the dust. I don't know, you could use a vacuum system with it if you want. You got a chop saw, you're outside, put the vac on it, and
That's probably the biggest down. I mean, it's not. I mean, it is a messy.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, not so bad just making the letters, but whenever you're routing, I mean,
Yeah.
and definitely dedicate a blade for that. You wouldn't take it to all stuff.
Definitely use.
They always say to dedicate blade just for its material. Just use it for that.
I know in the cabinet shop cutting MDF, we like that triple grind tooth, not the alternating bevel. Wondering if that's a good choice for this, because it's, that thick composite and it needs some heavy meat to get it, to cut it.
As far as jigsaw blades, I found like the fiber cement blades, I've had the same one for almost a year ago, working on borrow.
I've heard the guys say, the original guys say, once you get a brand new blade, put it in your saw and just write TruEx on it and take it out, and then when you're ready, it doesn't phase it that well.
No, it'll keep cutting more if someone goes try to cut a piece of wood on it.
Right.
It won't.
Yeah. I mean, of course, they have the nailing schedules when you're face nailing it. I've had some guys, you look around, some guys will take that siding nail, 2.5-inch stainless ring shank, and they'll inset it a little bit, and then go ahead, you can fill it if you want that, if you're not having that wood grain, and you want to do a custom job. And again, this is really, I mean, that's as big as the install guide. That makes my life pretty darn easy, because everybody knows how to work with wood, anybody in the field, contractor, carpenter. And so you get the feel for it, and you're going to be real happy with the results.
Joe, do you have to pre-drill?
I shouldn't have to pre-drill, and the other feature they like is that nail can go right at the edge of the board. It's not going to do that split out, anything like that.
Do you have to change the application according to the season, summer, winter?
No.
Good question. Nope, you don't. I mean, I train with the PVC siding, with our Select, and with PVC trim board. So again, you're screwing that in with stainless steel screws. You can glue the back of it to keep the movement on with the PVC. If it's hot out, it's already expanded. If it's cold, it's contracted. So you're going to leave the gap so that when it does expand. With TruEx, you can go January through December, and it's all the same. But your 5/4 boards, do your caulking, nail, fill it, paint it. So.
I mean, I sell PVC trim every day, and Lesnar does too. So it's kind of double-edged sword because I'm selling TruExteriors. And so they did a presentation. I said, well, what's the difference? And it comes down to the expansion and contraction, and the fact that it ground and you can paint it. One of the guys here at Lesnar just put up white PVC and had somebody painted black in the entrance. Now it all got to come off. It all has to come off. So he wants this because I think this is a specialty product. There's going to be certain situations you're going to use. You're not going to, it's expensive. We all know that. So you're going to get your value out of the cost, but it depends on every situation different. You guys are building $1 million house. This is what I would work with. Ben's house, Gus Farad, whoever, they want the best. This is the best. There's good, better, best. This is the best.
And also, if you want to keep the historical appearance,
Yes.
there's no siding on the market that retains that look. And that's where I see quite a bit of this sold in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, it's in the city. A lot of the,
That's a good point, Tom, because you can take the 5/4 and make your own piece. You can make your own windowsill, make your own water table. So this is pretty workable.
Because it's millable. It's very millable. It's more millable than PVC. I mean, some PVC, S4S, you can't mill it. Sure Edge, you can mill it. So it depends upon the application. When it comes down to is the application. And how much the consumer wants to spend. What they're willing to spend. But Mark thought that there was a need to reveal or to expose you guys of the fact that there is another product besides PVC. If you want something else, the big thing now is white windows or black windows or vice versa. And this is what you can do with this product. You can't do that with PVC. I mean, you can do black soffit, which we make, and then you can do white PVC. But if you want to do the white vice versa, you have to use this.
The other thing is if you have to sell hardy, you don't have to, but if you must, you can use this trim.
It's an option.
Right, because we all know that hardy trim is a little flat, fragile. So there are a lot of people that use the PVC trim, and the only thing you can have then is white. With this, it could be any color.
We've done 3 projects now with using hardy cement board siding but using
Boral?
trims,
Yeah.
And it's night and day. I mean, from the look you get, and like I said, sure, when they have one color match paint, I mean, you paint it, I mean, it doesn't,
That's exactly
you couldn't
right.
tell the difference that you're using 2 different products.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, ground contact.
Same ground.
Hey, Karen, so you guys, this full job, full siding, you use this for full siding jobs, or you?
We've never done a full siding. He did more than that. Down
Yeah.
there. Before, I mean, everything was, I mean, fascia, siding, and the soffit
You
was
guys did
the
that
LP.
at Shanks House, didn't you?
Yeah,
And the remainder
send
of
me
it
pictures of that.
is trimming, doing a lot of trim with
a
this.
lot of trim.
Yeah.
Use the bead board. You did the bead board and the soffits and stuff.
We didn't use that. We didn't use the borals.
What you use?
We usually use LP,
Gotcha.
the LP for the soffit.
Right.
And then like the other ceilings, they were just the stained Doug fir ceilings.
Mm-hmm.
But I
Yeah.
like the look of it.
This is a nice bead board, and again, I mean, of course, the PVC they make a white. If you don't want to paint it, you can put it up there. But being it's on a porch roof, you got heat build up, so this boral's a good choice.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I work in the field. I only look this good once a year. You know, I'm usually out there with a Carhartt T-shirt on and learning from you guys. I mean, you know, and the thing about being an install tech, I mean, I've been doing this since I've been 17, insulating houses, laid block and brick, worked in a cabinet shop. So I have a lot of firsthand knowledge with you know, making things work. Like one guy says, I have my PhD in MIH, make it happen. So I come out, my best part of my job is I listen to you guys, and then I bring it back to my people or the guys in the lab and say, hey, this isn't working, this does work, this doesn't. So we get a lot of feedback from you guys, and it's a lot of value to the company.
You've had this. Boral's probably been out, what, maybe 12 years? You guys have been using it for a while. I don't know of any problems. I even asked him, I don't know of any problems of, you know, if you don't do certain things, if you don't pin select, you don't leave a quarter of an inch, it's gonna pin itself off the wall. But this product, they just can't make it. They can't make enough of it. That's the problem. It's on allocate. They have one plant to supply the whole country. Now we have reps from California, and you know when you get in California, those are all high end. That's cultured stone, not Persetta. I'm talking about real stone, TruExterior. You're talking about $4 or $5 million home. This isn't the problem. That's what they're using. So we're getting more and more exposure to it. I would say in Pittsburgh, in the city, you know, but the only one that has it is Mike and U.S. Lumber is the only distributor. No other distributor has this product in the market. You have to get it through U.S. Lumber. Mm-hmm. And they run allocation, but I will tell you right now, they have a lot of product. They have a lot of product in stock.
Yeah, I do believe just recently we got several trucks with it.
Yeah, you guys are sitting pretty well.
Yeah, we just expanded our inventory levels also because of you guys, and the usage has gone up pretty dramatically. Like the shank job, we obviously couldn't keep up with that amount of material. You guys were using boatloads of it over there. But we've expanded not only the quantities, but also the all the different sizes. Derek, do we have 1x4, 1x12 now?
I believe we do.
Yeah, so we have all that covered. If there's any other product within Boral that you guys use a lot of, even periodically, let us know, we'll bring it in, that's not a problem. These guys have it on the ground, these guys being US Lumber, they deliver us twice a week, so from a lead time standpoint, assuming you guys have it on the ground at US Lumber, you'll have it in 3 days. So for some of
US
the
Lumber
odd
is our
stuff.
largest distributor of this product in the country. I mean, actually in PVC.
Yeah, I know, we're all in, I mean, with the, we're all in with this product, so.
US Lumber also stocks some moldings. It's made out of the boral trim, but it's actually a different company produces it. But what I really wanted to show you was these are different trims, and we can talk to Craig about which ones they actually have on stock. But it is the boral product. But I'll pass this around. You can actually see what it looks like when you do route it in comparison to a PVC product.
And we are stocking some of that, and if it's not, we can special order for you. It's a company called Duration. What they do, they buy this material, in a 1x board, and then they mill it. That's all they do, is just TruExterior stuff. So they'll mill into like brick molds and different crown
I'll
molds.
pass this around so you guys can look at it, but that's the only one I have, so I need that one back.
They can also do custom stuff. So if you have something you need to match, maybe some old bevel siding or something you need to match, because I've already done this with the Butler store, I think it was, in Muncie. We can send it out to them, and they'll do a drawing. And they can actually produce some custom work. So they can make just about anything out of this material, and they do a real nice job, doing it. But that has those outside corners, pre-made corners with pockets. And I'm just looking on it. We don't stock it. It's a special order. I don't know why.
So what's the lead time on a special order then?
The last time I ordered from Duration, good God, it was less than 2 weeks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Greg, how about if they want that finished, the one I'm talking about, the clear.
That pace, that's a different.
Yeah, it'd be probably we probably wait to get the product, then
Yeah.
send it to Pace in Ohio, get a tree and stuff. You're probably, just that process is probably 2 or 3 week lead time.
Yeah, it all depends on how busy they are at the time. I did one, got a quote on something else. It was going to be 6 or 8 weeks, but they were
Let
just.
me ask you,
slammed.
what does that do? What does that do to the price from
Oh, geez.
this to that? Does it double it? I mean, is it 700 a square and that's
I
1,400?
don't know. It's pricey.
Huh?
It's pricey. I don't know if it's double. I haven't priced it in a long time.
Okay. Joe, do you know? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
No, I'm not. We haven't.
Okay. Yeah, but
Because it has to do with how much, how much material it is. If it's only 2 pieces, it's going to be more, or if it's, 1,000 pieces.
No, I mean, like what I saw were like whole houses were done,
Yeah.
and it's high end. It's real high end, but it has a clear coat. It's unique. It's a different look.
Do you guys see any value in the pre-finished product, or you guys like to paint your product once it's installed? That's what you currently do, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, even on like the face and anything, we feel like we get a better end result being able to go through, clock everything on,
Sure.
and then go.
Paint it
That's-
yourself.
It paints
Yeah.
very well.
It does. It's amazing how easy it paints.
I did an accent wall in my house. It went up so far, went for set of stone and put it sealed and put the nickel gap and then hung a TV on it. And it wasn't a very big wall, but man, I was just amazed how well it cuts on the table saw, and it paints just beautiful.
Another one we did use, it was a job we did last year, we did use select siding, board and batten, and made our own boral trim with the deeper pockets and everything on the roll select.
Oh yeah.
It worked for that too. We've really,
By the way, we just come out with 11-inch board and batten. Really nice. We have 11-inch now instead of the 8-inch. We got 11-inch revealed, which is really nice.
On board and batten.
Mm-hmm.
Is
Is
the
it
batten
select?
Oh, in select.
In select, yeah.
It's built in. Batten built in. Oh, nice.
What did you do? Take 5/4, and make a 2-inch pocket?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you made that on PVC, it would be a little.
and that's the only, like, that deep of pocket and that 1/4 inch,
Right.
it is brittle,
Right.
but you're not supposed to be. up
You
there
can keep that
keeping it.
chain, Derek, if you want it over the store.
Yeah.
So is Boral made in 2x material also?
Yeah,
It is?
yeah.
You guys stock any 2x material in Altoona?
We do. I don't know what 2x4 and 2x6.
2x8.
I don't know.
So if we don't have it on the ground, just know that
We
within
do
3
stock
days
it.
it can be up. It can be here or any of our lesser locations
Yeah.
within about 3 days.
I know we stock all the 1x in a lot of those pocket, with the skirt board and all that stuff we stock. All the siding profiles, everything you see on this board here, we stock. Now that's painted because it's just what to show you what it looks like painted. Obviously, everything is fine.
Do you use that for risers on a set of steps?
I guess you could. I don't know.
Well,
I didn't hear it.
could you use it for risers on a set of steps?
Yeah.
It'd be great for that. A lot of people are doing where they want a white trim board or black going around their deck. I mean, that'd be a perfect option.
Yeah, is there any talks of like them starting to make like actual like pre-made blocks for receptacles?
The mounts.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because I mean, we make them on site, but I didn't know if there was any talks about making the actual.
That's a good point, and that could be coming down the road because these guys are pretty good about
They're
making
working on
sure
something.
everybody has what they need. Of course, electrical outlet, you're just cutting it in the panel, right, and putting the box, that weatherproof box. Because now, I mean, with the mounts and blocks, because it's not vinyl and because it's not PVC, you don't need that channel. You don't need that expansion groove, so you can pretty much just cut the box right out of the siding, right?
They are
We
working. They
usually
are.
make a block. I mean, we're in a lot of instances too where we're making blocks where we have stone. Like you have receptacle in the stone, and instead of trying to cut your stone, and we'll make a block with a bead and that
You'd have
stone.
to have a block for, like
Hey,
lights,
Joe.
because if it's beveled, you
Yeah.
can't put your light on a bevel.
They are working on that.
Yeah, okay.
They showed us. They are working on that.
Yep.
The light block, all the mounts, vents, and blocks. They're working on that in that product. As a matter of fact, I saw it last week.
Did you?
Yeah, it's just really cool to finally have something whenever you're doing your smart side, your hard eight, that you can actually set down to the ground and actually have your finished product go the whole way down. You have something to hold it off. You don't have to worry about. You're not gonna have any callbacks for it.
Same thing with the roof line. You know, you can put your piece of plywood down there, 1/2 inch, cut all your angles, run it to the 1/2 inch, your little spacer board there and pull it out of there. You don't have to end coat, the ends when you cut it. So.
If you guys have any questions that you guys have that with the application, how you can, how you can't, right? I mean that's really what Joe's here for, to find out what we can do and what we can't do.
Yeah.
Any questions you have, food will be here in about 10 minutes.
It's not a whole lot you can't do with it, right, Joe?
Yeah.
Not a whole lot of don'ts then, huh? Lots of do's. You can do a lot with this product that you can't do with PVC and cement especially, so.
I mean, as far as
Very
taking
foolproof product.
2x12s and making arch trim, I mean, we've done a lot of that on circle windows and stuff. I mean, lay it out and it cuts easy and.
Mm-hmm. Sands, take a belt sander to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you gotta watch the belt sander. It sands quick.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this question: the guys that are using it, what made you use this? Why did you start using it?
Expansion and contraction
Is
is
that
almost eliminated.
Is that basically what it was?
Unless it would get wet before you go to install it. It's got to be a dry product when it goes up.
Right. You mean this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Because if it gets wet, it'll, expand a little bit. And
Right.
then
So
shrink.
it should be. It has to be dry. You're correct. Yeah.
Do you know we ship it? Is it wrapped there? No.
I don't believe it is.
You don't want to leave it out on a job site.
Yeah, they even tell you when they ship vinyl siding, don't let the boxes get wet.
Right.
Of course, anybody, cement board, we're out in the field, it's a mud bath. and you got to keep the material covered.
We'll
But
put a plastic
that's-
tarp on the bottom
know.
siding on a day like today. Cause it's gonna melt. Don't worry.
Yeah, the biggest thing is just leave it covered up until that day you need it.
And you can score and snap it with a knife for a rough cut too. I did find that out. Instead of carrying a 16-footer, if you need to just cut in half, you can get the plow and you can take your knife, go around two sides and it snaps right there. I mean, they'll snap that way, but it won't snap the long way.
right.
Maybe you haven't tried hard enough.
Harder next time.
Have you been using the siding nail gun, the 2.5-inch ring shank number 7, or just 15 gauge in it?
We've been 15 gauge. I mean, that trim screwing where needed and stuff.
Right.
But mostly, I mean, we got the 15 gauge and we glue it with the, like everything gets glued with PL3, no matter if it's
To the sheathing,
to the sheeting or to like we use it all for our fascia.
sub fascia
Yeah.
to the 2x6, everything.
Yep.
Yeah, see, I mean, you can do that with PVC too. The more you restrict it, the less it's going to move. But nobody does it, you know. So no, that's a great. You're laminating it to the house,
Pretty
Right.
much. Yeah.
you know. And that's it. There's not a lot of guys that take that time.
It's a big added expense too, buying a polyurethane glue. It's
Yeah.
not cheap, but it works great.
Mm-hmm.
So is there any specifications on what type of fastener you have to use? That can it be just as long as it's galvanized exterior? I know PVC, they always recommend stainless.
The stainless or the hot dip, like the zinc nails, the maze nails, I'm sure you guys use on occasion too. The 15 gauge stainless, is that what you're shooting out of the gun, or are they just galvanized?
Galvanized.
Yeah, but they're all getting filled
Right.
and painted,
Painted,
so.
yeah.
And a stainless steel trim screw for the whatever you gotta tie together or something. What kind of wood filler you like?
A lot of it's just
Three.
Whatever.
That 3M. or the-
Yeah, 3M and patch and primer.
Yeah.
Nah,
the X-
I don't use patch and primer. I can't think of what it is now.
it's exterior grade.
Yeah, it's exterior grade. It's made by Dynaflex, DAP.
Okay.
Yeah, I've had good luck with it so far.
It's not in the black tube, is it?
No, it's in a container.
Okay.
Scoop it out, finger it in, and take a damp cloth and go over it. Especially in wood grain, I take a damp cloth. It'll clean it out of the wood grain, but it leaves it in the hole,
Right.
and away we go.
Okay. 2 coats of paint. Yeah.
How about the caulking? Is there any specific kind of caulking you should use?
What are you using? Just an
Dot-
acrylic? Latex?
DAP Dynaflex.
Yeah.
Or Dynaflex 230.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
The ultra.
Ultra. Yeah, the Ultra. Either one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, most of the builders try to get away with 1 coat, you know.
No.
I've seen that stain in T111, they put 1 coat. I said, that looks pretty good, that's all you gotta put on, you know. It doesn't last too long, but
Can't say we believe in 1 coat coverage on anything. No.
Now I know you guys paint on field. As far as the pre-finished stuff goes, do you guys send like a touch-up paint with it for the nail heads? Do you have color matched nails or screws or?
I know they'll send touch-up paint with the pre-finished, like the painted stuff. I would think it would have to with the stain stuff as well. And I know if you get because they'll paint it also. We can do paint and some touch-up paint with that job. And then even at the painted, we can do a 1 coat. With the idea is that when you put it up, fill the nail heads, and then you put a top coat on here. And so you're only putting 1 coat on the field.
Can you stain that too?
What's that? Yeah, we stain it, and it's the stain doesn't absorb into it like wood. It's on the surface, just like if you're staining a masonite door or a fiberglass
solid
door.
color stain.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again, you can put the dark color on it, which everybody's doing the black windows now and the white siding. So, anything else?
Not me. What?
If not, maybe we'll just switch gears then and talk about a couple other different products. But before we do that, you guys have any other questions for Joe? Any snags in the field? You guys have obviously used the product for the last few years pretty consistently. Overall, you guys like the product? Any suggestions that Joe or Kevin could take back to the manufacturer as far as things that you guys have done and said, geez, I wish they did this, or I wish they made this, or made it this way? Any?
Not really. We haven't had any. I mean, it's been pretty flawless for us. I mean, we haven't had any problems after install or not. I mean, it's.
The only problem they had is getting product.
Yeah, that was there for a while. That was the biggest.
That was the biggest
Yeah,
problem.
it was
And then last year they were better, and this year they're much better.
Yeah, it was tough. We had allocation. We could get one truck a month. That's all we could get.
Right.
And the truck we had on order was already sold, so nothing was going in inventory. It was coming in and going right back out. Well, it was a struggle for the longest time. Now, we don't have any trouble getting it. We can order 10 trucks if we want.
I think the next big hurdle will be what will the manufacturer, both Boral and even on the gypsum drywall products, what'll happen when fly ash becomes somewhat non-available? Because everybody understands that fly ash is a byproduct of burning coal in the power plants,
Right.
and they're shutting down all of our coal plants.
They'll
So
end up buying it from China.
Yeah, you're probably right.
let's hope not. Let's hope they find an alternative. I mean, there's still enough coal burning plants, but I know just locally, Indiana, they're shutting down.
They're always working. The mad chemists are always working on
Yeah, there'll be something.
that they'll do with Boral that makes it stronger or lasts longer. They'll figure something out.
But the key is the stability side of it, the lack of expansion contraction is the big benefit of the product. So they got to find a substrate that is a stable product, and I'm sure they will. It's too big of a company, too good of a product to
Yeah, I mean,
let it go away just because fly ash becomes somewhat non-available. So a couple other products, at least one other product I want to talk about really quick is, unfortunately, Casey and I just met with this company called Upstate Door. It's a wood door company, and so when we're talking about high-end products like Boral, some of the projects that you guys do that are extremely high-end, sure you run into the customer that wants a special front door or maybe a special interior door. And right now we have a few. We have Lemieux. We have, who else do we get? Simpson. A couple other wood door company you guys may be familiar with. But this Upstate Door company, we think they're new to leisure. They're not new to the industry. If you can draw it, they'll make it. The species of wood that they'll make, that they have readily available, is every one of those species, so that you can't see the name of the species. It starts at A and finishes in Z. Anywhere from alder to ash. Obviously the red oaks, the walnuts, some mahogany, some special stuff. So when you guys get into a project where you got a customer that just literally wants something different, they want a wood door, we'll have this available at all of our locations. It's on a special order basis, obviously, but made up in just outside of Buffalo, New York. And we have representation in Western PA now. They do exterior doors, they do interior doors. They really specialize in the $1 million and up kind of category.
For real?
Yeah.
They're in Buffalo?
Yeah. Wausau, New York.
Okay.
Wausau, New York, just the kind of southwest of Buffalo in the suburb. But anyhow, Casey and I both thought that there's customers out there that want that special door, and we just don't have a lot of options to give them. And you guys know as well as anybody, you guys are on projects every day, that money really isn't an object. They know what they want and they're willing to pay for it.
Yep.
And it's not outrageous. I mean, people drop $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 for an entry door. They do that with Therma-Tru Fiber Classic right now. I'm sure you guys have used a 3.0 door, 2 side lights and a transom, and the Classic Craft stained both inside and out. That's an $8,000 or $9,000 door. So you can now do it in an authentic wood door. And there's obviously some restrictions of where you want to put the door. Like, you don't want to put a wood door out where it's going to hit the sun all day long and the weather's going to hit it all day long. It'll hold up, but they have to maintain the door almost on a yearly basis. But in an application where it's under a porch, kind of away from the sunlight, that's where this door really shines. It'll hold up well. We have them available. Our people at our locations will be trained over the next month or so. So just keep that in the back of your mind when you have a customer that you think would appreciate something in a more higher end door. We now have them available called Upstate Door Company. All custom made, 4 to 6 week lead time, pre-finished or unfinished, whatever you want. They specialize in interior doors as well, especially the big ones. You guys get some big 8.0 doors. They'll do that for you. Pocket, sliders, anything like that, they can do that in wood. So that's it for that. Any other new products? Anything you want to talk to the guys about, Derek? That anything new?
Nothing in particular comes to mind.
What I can tell you guys is we're really, from a lumberyard standpoint, we just met for the last 2.5 hours today to talk about what products should we be bringing into the showrooms that you guys need on a more of a professional line basis, higher end product. So anytime, we highly encourage you guys to always give us feedback of either products that you have to go somewhere else to buy, or we have it, but we never have enough of it. That's the big one. It seems like we ask our managers for feedback, and they said, we don't want new products as much as just give us more of what we already have. And you guys all know for the last 3 years through the COVID, the supply chain was a train wreck. Mm-hmm. And we really struggled to get product. Everything from every line that Kevin carries was on allocation at some point. U.S. Lumber struggled for the majority of the product lines that they had. We think most of those supply chain stuff is back at a relatively normal lead time. Windows, doors, siding, products like that. The other good news that we're finally seeing, you guys have saw this over the last 3 years, there's been an extreme price increase, right? Every time you turned around, windows were going up, doors were going up, siding went up 10 times in 10 weeks. As Casey and I meet with vendors, the surprising part of it is we're talking price concessions. Manufacturers and vendors are starting to lower their prices. We've seen it in a couple of the window brands. MI announced a price decrease. Royal Siding, we're talking to those guys about some decrease in some of the estate and some of the siding lines. So the good news is it's not going to drop as fast as it went up. At least we're not seeing the increases, rapid increases every other day.
It went up 35% in 1 year.
Yeah. And how do we stay ahead of that? How do you guys stay ahead of it?
It literally did. It went up 35%.
So they're offering to come down 5%. So we got to.
Well, that's not what happened. What happened? There was major demand, right? Major demand. You guys know that. A lot of demand, and there was only so much product available. Here's the price. You guys, everybody was making money. Everybody had stimulus checks or whatever, and then all of a sudden now, interest rates went up. Homes are they're building less homes, and more competitive. The pie didn't get any bigger, and it's more competitive, and everybody's fighting for the same business. So, got to get competitive on everything: roofing, siding, windows, doors, underlayment, formage, anything, everything.
Yeah, you guys know there's no such thing as affordable housing anymore. So everybody's just trying to find ways to get in someone's budget. Right? You know, your customer has a budget. You know, they know how much money they have to spend or they can borrow. It's our job to help you guys find product that fits within their budget, whatever that is, good, better, best. And Boral just happens to be one of the more premium products, but at the end of the day, we should have a product that fits whatever budget your customer
You
has.
see the new thing out, the builders, the big builders, they're still building on their tracks. The interest rates went up, so they're renting them. They're just renting all. Nobody stopped building. DR Horton, they're still building. The NVR, the DR, they're all building.
Yeah. See, and that's not our market. We don't have any builders. Nobody
you're
builds,
right,
you
we
know,
don't.
the 100,
No.
200, you know, our core customer base are you guys. They rely on, you know, remodeling, some new construction, and that's it. So we think the next big trend, and I'm sure you guys are seeing outdoor living, like people are spending so much money on the outside of their house now. You know, their deck and their lighting, and all the trellises, and outdoor kitchens, and grills. I mean, people are dropping $500-600 just for a portable pizza maker now. I mean, that's where the money's going right now, we think. So as a company, we recognize that. I think we're a little behind in the game, but we're gonna focus on trying to find a lot more new outdoor products for you guys to offer your customers. All kind of different decking products, railing products. You know, the new Trex powder coated aluminum railing we just brought in. I think that's a great product for the money. So we just continue to find products that you guys can offer to your customer base. That'll be evolving.
Treated LVLs for decks.
Yeah.
So we have treated LVLs in stock. So for the longest time, it was hard you couldn't find them. This company we deal with, Pacific Wood Tech, over engineered wood, they treat each layer and then they put it together, make an LVL of it. We have 1.5 inches and 1.75 inches in stock. So 1.75 inches for your beams, 1.5 inches for your joists. And obviously, what's nice is they're perfectly flat, nice and straight, no crown to it. It's,
You can clear up to like 11/7/8 or what
we
size?
have the side for the 1.5 inches. We have 9 1/4, 2x10 and 2x12 for joists. We can size the beam. So if you have a customer that has a deck that's going to be up in the air and you want the least number of posts underneath, get that information to these guys. They'll send it to our engineered wood division. They can size the beam. They can tell you here's the beam you need. The beam's dry, like that KDAT treated. So when you get it, you can paint it or stain it right off the bat. And we can do the same thing with the joists.
25-year warranty, as long as you.
So if you want to cantilever some
take
things,
the
we can tell you how far you can.
Right.
Now, in order to get the warranty, you have to tape the top of it. And Leslie, you guys talk beam and joist tape. You have to tape that, and then you'll have a 25-year warranty.
Do they say anything about cutting it, using it for stair stringers?
Uh,
Because we use like regular L for our interior stairs. We use all LVLs for our stringers and stuff. And that would make for exterior.
I think in the one brochure it shows the stair stringers.
Yeah, you can
You can cut,
Yeah.
you can cut the stair stringers out.
You can get that as long as the other LVLs we can get.
We have them in different lengths. I can get the information to Derek. So you have to buy. It depends on what size it is. You have to buy it either in 2-foot increments or 4-foot increments. We won't cut them. But I can get the list to Derek of what we stock in the different lengths.
You got any samples of those? Yeah.
I do. I can get on and get one.
Yeah. I just want to see what it's
Let me get on and get it. Hold on to this for me.
Yeah, I didn't know you guys had that available either. That's pretty interesting, especially the bigger decks with, they're obviously bigger span.
Yeah.
That's a good product to have.
And
Yeah,
it's
we'll
nice.
get samples of that.